Hi everyone, I'm Alex. Many of you probably knows me as Nizaka on Arcadia forum and Facebook. Uh, I decided to make this video so I think it will be a bit easier for me to explain you why do I believe that Ben Hamad's confession is a complete hoax, and also why Andrew Goff. Why I think that Andrew Goff is a big liar, deceiver, and not very nice man, I would say. Um, First, I would like to begin from the moment when I met him and how I met him. So, first time I met him at trans group meeting. My first opinion of him, I think, was just everybody else's. That he is quite nice guy and very easy to talk to, very good to talk to, and everything was good about him until our next meeting. So in a few weeks after that meeting, friends group meeting, I have contacted him in regard of my article which I wrote, and asked him whether he would like to meet with me, and so we can discuss it. And we lived in the same area at Bethnal Green in London. So he told me, it was Friday night, I think, and he told me, Alex, would you like to come over? To me and two of my friends will be in Shoreditch House. I agreed to that, of course, and I came there. To my surprise, he was on his own, no one was there, and we started to talk about different things. First about my article, then about all René Le Chateau stuff, just usual talk with person whose interest nearly the same as yours. But as soon as I started talk about Ben Hamad, he completely changed. He started to tell me that Hamad is a fraud and everything is a hoax, and it wasn't just like he was expressing his opinion. It was more like he was a bit pushy about it, a bit, I would say, even aggressive about it. It seems like he was doing it for a reason, like he's got some personal gain in it, his interest in it, and it was a bit strange to see that. But I told him, listen, Andy, it can't be that it is hoax, because I know where the second chest is, and because of that location, I think that it's impossible. I know it's impossible that it is a hoax. And he said, how do you know? I said, well, so Ben made mistake, and I was thinking to myself, why am I telling him that? But I've already said A, so I have to say B as well now. And as well, I needed his help with my Shagbara Hall discovery, so I thought, I probably will tell him. And I told him, I said, it's in between the towers in Le Chateau Gardens. It's if you see the movie Bloodline, you can clearly see it on a parchment. And I said to him, now you see that, but he wasn't already listening to me. He was, his face completely changed, and he just went all silent, and you can clearly see that he is not listening to me anymore, thinking about something else, something like, you could see that I just told him something that he really, really needed to hear. And so I even asked him, do you still listen to me? And he said, yes, Alex, carry on, but he didn't. And so we sat there for about 3 hours, and then we decided to go home. And so we went downstairs and started to walk the street, and he turns to me after a few meters and said, oh, Alex, I forgot the article. And I said, well, I didn't say that. I was thinking to myself, that's a bit strange, because when I live in any place, I'm always looking whether I forgot something or not. And the article is quite big, you can't just not to see it. I said, don't worry about it, Andy, because I have copyrighted it, and anyway, I want people to read about it. And we started to walk back home again. And then after a few meters, he turns to me and said, "Oh, Alex, I forgot my glasses." I was a bit surprised to hear that too. And I'm pretty sure they didn't leave anything there. And I said, "Okay, Andy, let's come back and we can take your glasses and my article and we can go back home." And I could see that he's a bit irritated. There's something I don't know. He's irritated by something. So we went back to the lift up on the 5th floor. And I could see he was clearly a bit nervous about something. And we went up to 5th floor, went out. He turns to me and said, "Stay here." And it was quite rude the way he said it. But anyway, I didn't tell him anything and just stood there and started to think what's going on really. And then I understood that obviously if he would come to our table together, I would see that nothing is forgotten there, neither his glasses or my article. And that's what was bothering him, and that's why he told me stay here. But why was he doing that? And then I understood that he was desperately trying to get back to Shoreditch House because someone was waiting for him. And to share the thing about the second chance, you could clearly see he can't hold it inside. He's constantly thinking about it. And a few times during our talk, during those 3 hours, he went somewhere. I don't think it was toilet. I think he was going. As soon as I said about check and chat, he spoke for a while and then asked to wait me there for a few minutes. So, but anyway, I definitely know that there was someone who was waiting for him there, and he couldn't hold it anymore inside. He needed to check whether I was telling the truth, because honestly, you should have seen his face, how he reacted to the second chest. It's like, I understood at that moment that I provided him with something very important for him. And the next day, I have contacted him and asked whether we can meet some other time and to talk about the second chest, which I told him. And he said, "Oh," and I asked him, "Have you checked it yet?" He said, "Oh, no, I will check it and I will come back to you later." But he never did it really. Then on other occasions, and that was the first time when I understood that he is quite a dodgy geezer. And I was thinking myself, whether should I trust him or not? But stuff happened, and I was struggling with my Shakbara whole thing, and I told him about that too. And when I told him about it, believe it or not, he started secretly filming me on his BlackBerry phone. It was, and after that, I understood that there is nothing. There could be something go wrong, and that's why I kept all those emails of his, and just in case. As to, I will come back to Shakbara Hall because there was some people thinking that he might be involved in it. I'll tell you straight away, he was not involved in that mismatch in the Zoom at Shakbara and everything what I did there, but he knew everything about it. He knew that what I was going to do. He even asked me a couple of times what's going on there, are you progressing there or something like that. He was curious about it. He wanted to know what's inside there as well, and we talked about it quite a lot. And then I started a thread on his Arcadia forum that he's a liar. I knew that he's gonna mention Shakbara Hall, mental hospital and all those things. And he did, so it didn't bother me anyway. So you can clearly see, he's put it on his website, such information that I am a vandal who smashed those things, and it is a priceless own. If it is so priceless to you, why you did nothing about it? Why you was talking to me about it? Why you was even collecting some information about it when I was last time there and stuff like that? It just amazes me how he changes from situation to situation, and so As for the mental hospital, yes, that's true as well. I've been there. After I've done those things, police got me, and first there was a detention point, but then no one brought any charges against me, and they couldn't just leave me, I think, in a detention point. They told me that I need a rest. I need to rest, and they put me there in Stafford St. George's Mental Hospital. And it was quite an experience. I mean, it was really, for me, it was very, very useful experience, I remember. But eventually I wasn't diagnosed with anything. Doctors always tell me that I'm fine and listen to my theories and all that stuff. It's just on my last week I was allowed to go outside of the hospital unescorted for 5 hours. I could go anywhere, even to London if I wanted to. So they were cool about me. So police as well, as soon as I left hospital, hospital handed me over to the police, and they said, even though they knew that I'm a legal immigrant, they didn't call immigration services. They just picked me up. We went to the detention point, and they said to me, "You can't be here, so we will take you to the Stafford, and we will leave you there, and you can do whatever you want to do." And I was a bit surprised. I just done damage, criminal damage, and no one cares about it. And that's why really I've done it, damaged it so big time, because people just seem to ignore everything I do about it, and even letting me go, even if I've done it. It was damaged like £20,000, I think they said, and they just let me off just like that. And I've come back to Sharkborough Hall, and only then they handed me over to Immigration Service and sent me back here in Ukraine. So that's pretty much story about it, but it was so weird story. So what else? But Andy was actually quite curious about it. He knew that my theory does make sense. And now I'll come back to talk about him, how his attitude towards, as I said, he's like, I have this feeling like he's trying to persuade everyone that Ben Hamad, before the confession, that Ben Hamad findings is not real, and everywhere. And we talked about it as well. I had feeling that he's doing his job, nothing else. Like someone told him to do it. It's a bit strange, and you can see he even went to airport to see Renee Barnett, and he said because she seemed to be a very nice woman. I'm pretty sure she is, but it's not what I'm trying to say. He shared his concerns about Ben Hamad. He shared his concerns. He just tried to persuade her as well. That's it. For some reason. Another thing. He told me once, we spoke with him, we talked about Patricia Chaplin, and he told me she's making stuff up in her books. So if you care enough, if you're saying like who you are, like you want people to know the truth and things like that you're a good guy, then why don't you tell people that Patricia Chaplin is a liar as well? In her book she's making up stuff and telling people that it is true. And on the other hand, you do the same, you do quite opposite with Ben Hamad. You tell him that he's a liar, and yet you know that he is not, because I told you about the second chest, and it's clearly, you can't just hoax that thing. So if you are a really good guy, tell people that Patricia Chaplin making her stuff up as well, and that will be fair, I think. But obviously it's not gonna happen, because Patricia Chaplin never found anything. She hasn't got any discoveries if she's making up all that stuff. But on the other hand, Ben Hamad did found something. And that's what's important to him. people are not important to him. Truth is not important to him. Ben Hammad's findings, they are important to him, or any other his personal interests. He might say that he is for the truth, but he is only for himself and that group of people he works for. What else? Now I would like to talk about that second chest. Now, this is just amazing how people don't see it. Before the convention, he never mentioned it, and only after I've told on Arcadia forum, only then he started to talk about it a little bit. I asked him a few things, and but the thing is, just think for a moment. The guy opening the bottle in front of the Bloodline crew, he does know that it's gonna be filmed. He does know that everyone will see it. He does know everything if he is making a hoax. It's like he was doing. It's not even a mistake. It's if it is a hoax, it's not even a mistake. It's a big, huge, major screw up. I mean, it's like if he was doing that Loch Ness Monster hoax, then he would film like walking in a wood somewhere near Loch Ness, and that would be probably the same. So he does all that, and yet he claims that still everything is a hoax. How? Why would he do that? Why would he put that second chest between the two towers? It's impossible to carry on with your hoax when the chest is there. Absolutely impossible. And people would see. Someone could go easily there and try to dig it out. It's just Vam, his wife, telling he's just stupid, he's just making mistake. I don't think so. He's an experienced hoaxer. He has done that Loch Ness Monster thing, and I think, and he definitely, and because it was a failure, he knows that next time if it is a hoax, when he will do a hoax, everything should be spot on, because even little detail, it's all about details really. Even little detail could give away everything, and yet he is doing that. He is placing second chest in the gardens, and that's it. It's a dead end. You can't go from there. And too many people probably seen that. His team saw that. Another thing about him, it's there were some pictures on his old website where he comparing how gardens were looked then in 2008 and after restoration in 2011. Now I have a question for him as well, like, and those pictures were like in 2008, like bushes and trees, nothing else in there, just bushes and trees. Why would a man in 2008, when he is busy with his making movie, being a local celebrity in this genre, in René Chateau thing, and why would he, this Bloodline as well, why would he make pictures of the bushes and trees in the garden? It just doesn't make sense. Why would you do that? And obviously not for the reason so he can later compare it to the new garden in 2011. He didn't know that he's going to be renovated. For me, the answer is obvious, because he was obsessed with that place because of the second chest, where the second chest is. He wanted it so badly, so desperate, that he was, I don't know, maybe he was even trying maybe he was even going to do it at night, and he was preparing himself, like, to remember where everything is situated and stuff. But he was obsessed with that place, and that's why I know that thing from my own experience. When I found in Shakbar Hall, then I was thinking about it all the time. You can't just hold it inside. You just keep on your mind. It makes you really tired, and you're just thinking about it. And that's why I think what he was going through as well. but he couldn't get it because of the, well, probably not him alone knew about it. And then I told Andrew about it, and I think that's the reason why, and that is how he manipulated Ben into confession. All those stories about moles and that Ark of the stupid, that hoax with the Ark of Covenant, it's just ludicrous. You can't just, what they were thinking about it, that has only one purpose, that Ark of the Covenant hoax, just to show people that because one hoax is not enough, Nessie is not enough just to say that he's this Renlicht hoax is a hoax as well. So they made up another one, and that last one was meant to be exposed as a hoax, so people would think. It's all, I'm pretty sure, Andrew Goff's style. He does that stuff a lot with people. He manipulates. He do all these little tricks, even few techniques of manipulating as well. I've noticed few things while we were emailing, and he does some mirroring techniques when you talk to him. It's he knows psychology very well, and that's why he's using all that, but he's using it in the wrong way though, and I think that was his mistake as well, because if you let people that psychology, you are very easy can be manipulated too, because some person very good at it, you just give him any pattern and he would think that you are, but you are not really that person. Well, pretty much, yeah. I know how he saw me, because I'm quite a soft person. I didn't have to play anything. But I knew that he is looking at me and doing his analysis. That's why he wasn't scared to go with confession thing. He wasn't afraid that I will go and tell everyone about second chess, because he thought that he is controlling me, but he really didn't. So what else should I say? And about just how they doing it. They're playing so dirty. But what else shall they do? Because they're lying, that's why they're doing it. There's too much money probably invested already in big people. They want to get their hands on those discoveries Ben made. If they're real, of course, or authentic, but for me it's not. This is not a problem for me. The problem that he's keep lying, and that's a bit shocking how he treats people. And on the forum, just look how they behave. They jump in at every conversation you go into. On Gus Stevens forum as well, especially VAM. They try to make a joke of it or something. If you have done a confession, no one believes you. Who cares? Just leave it and let them do it. But now they want people still to believe. They're desperate for it. They're so desperate people to believe in this confession, and it's an obvious sign that it is a hoax. So keep blocking me on my account. It's just silly. It just, again, is a clear sign that they're scared that someone can say something about them. Those statements, PayPal receipts. I've contacted many of those people from whom allegedly they bought those things, but nothing happened. Then I received none of the reply, because they didn't want to be involved in it. They might have been paid or something. I don't know how they did it, but they just don't want to be involved in it. That's it. So, but they're not gonna get it. Eventually, the truth will come out. Ben will never. He won't be able to pull this. He won't be able to repeat everything he showed before and making it look the same way, like those models and stuff. Some people saying that things lay differently. In one shot, he made in a tomb and on another shot he made later. For me, again, he just can't. He made so many such mistakes. It can't be just that he's doing a hoax. It just was beyond his control. I think personally that in a tomb it was like seismic activity or just collapsing cave near this tomb, something collapsed and moved things around. So there were two not major, quite big earthquakes in that area in the last 15 years. So obviously, so it's much better. I would suggest Ben to come out clean if you want to come out clean and good guy out of this, just to say everything that how it was really, and not being played by Andrew Goff. But he's controlling people, so that is his talent. You can't take it away from him. It just, unfortunately, he's using it in the wrong way. But that's okay. We'll see what's gonna happen. Well, everything will be good anyway, I think, because of the reasons I just told. So what else I would like to say? And people starting to see it. More and more people starting to see it. Even Andrew Goff said that 2/3 of the replies after he forced Ben Hamad to confession was not on his side, only 1/3. And I think it's those friends, his minions, I would say. They're just doing it, they don't care, they're saying it themselves, that they're just trying to defend their friend and trying to make look him so all white and fluffy. And they don't care about the truth. So, but that makes them just as much, I mean, looks like him anyway. And that is being a liar, deceiver, and just a not very good man, I think. So, I think that's pretty much what I wanted to tell you. And I wish you all the best and have a good day. Thank you very much. Bye.